What's up, guys? It's your boy Barca Boy 103. Today we're gonna be doing the match preview for Benfica versus Barcelona in the Champions League. The second last match of the group stages is upon us, where all Barcelona need is 3 more points to guarantee a top 8 finish. But of course, we are pushing for the number 1 spot in the UCL table. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below, and let's try and get to 200 likes on this video. It would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you are new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time, so regular kickoff time in the Champions League, and this match will be taking place in Portugal in the Benfica Stadium, Estádio da Luz, which of course is a very, very historic stadium that Benfica have been in quite some time now. Very, very historic in the Champions League. And the referee for this match has also been confirmed. On the pitch, it will be the Dutch referee Daniel Makelele. On the pitch, very, very well known. He's quite up there in the hierarchy in terms of the referees. And on the VR, you'll have his Dutch compatriot Rob helping him out. Let's start off by taking a look at the Champions League table, where Barcelona are currently sat in second place on 15 points after playing 6 matches. We have 5 wins and 1 loss. Only Liverpool have a perfect 6 out of 6 so far. We're still trying to overtake Liverpool. Of course, as you can see here by the graphic, Barcelona have secured a knockout position in the Champions League, whether it be in the round 16 or round 32 remains to be seen. But of course, we need to get in the top 8 guaranteed, and 3 more points are needed for that in the next 2 games. Of course, we're gonna fight for that first spot because first place gets an extra 10 million, and Barcelona, of course, I wouldn't say we're on our knees for it, but it'd be very, very nice to have. So we'll wait and see. Of course, it's come down to really Liverpool dropping points. They play Lille at home and then PSV away, so you never know. Our games are definitely more difficult. Benfica away than Atalanta at home, so that of course remains to be seen. And speaking of our opponents, Benfica, they are currently sat in 15th place in the Champions League table on 10 points after playing 6 matches. So again, they're fighting for the contention. They should be okay to get into the next round, the knockout playoffs positions, unless there's a catastrophic error from themselves, and they probably just need a couple maybe a point for the next 2 games. I don't know who they play in their final game, don't really care, to be honest, but that's where they're currently at in the Champions League. Same amount of 1 more point than Real Madrid, so that tells you enough about how they're doing in the Champions League. But it all of course comes down to Barcelona securing top 8 first is the priority, but also pushing for that first place position as well. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Benfica. Of course, Benfica are a very historic team, probably the biggest team in Portugal. And the last time we faced them was in the Champions League in the 2021-2022 season. Of course, there are match reviews and previews on this channel about these games. In the first game, the home game, it was a 0-0 draw. Of course, this ended up sending us to the Europa League for the first time ever. I remember Yusuf Demir hitting the bar, Araujo scoring, it was offside. It was a I wouldn't say dominant split from Barcelona, but one where we were on top for the majority of the game, couldn't break the deadlock. And of course, in their first game back in November, probably the first nail in the coffin for Ronald Koeman, where we got clapped 3-0. The last time we played in this stadium, we lost 3-0. It was an absolute battering. Darwin Nunez, of course, now at Liverpool, playing for Benfica at the time, and we just got absolutely clapped. Remember, we played like a 3-5-2 with Luke de Jong and Memphis Depay as our front two. The midfield was absolutely dire. Frankie de Jong carried it out beyond belief, and we barely got out of there alive. So we did. Coleman got the sack, I think, a week or 2 later after the Rayo Vallecano match. And then we went, of course, to this game where we drew 0-0. So last time I faced Benfica, winless in the last 2. Not the best showing, but hopefully this time it will be different. Now, we take a look at Benfica's last 6 matches in all competition. They won the last league game 4-0. They won their first round of their cup game 3-1. They won their Super Cup final in the penalty shootout against Sporting Lisbon, their direct rivals in the Portugese league. They also won, of course, the semifinals to get into that cup final. They lost to Braga 2-1 in the first game of 2025, and they also lost to Sporting in the league as well, 1-0. So quite a rough start to 2025. Of course, rough end of 2024 and rough beginning of 2025. But in the last 4 games, they managed to get a big wins and, of course, win their first trophy of the season. Let's take a look at those last 3 games. Firstly, the 1-1 against Sporting Lisbon that ended up going to penalty shootout. Very, very tight game, of course. You see how they land up here in the 4-3-3 formation. Again, very tight game. Sporting are also a decent side, despite the fact that they they lost their manager, should I say, Ruben Amorim to Manchester United. Despite that, though, the game was tight, end-to-end football, and Benfica got the edge on the penalty shootout. Next match was their 3-1 win in their, Copa del Rey, their cup competition. They had, as you can see from the lineup, a little bit of rotation, not too much. They, of course, went out quite strongly for this game. Otamendi, Alvaro starting, Di Maria, Arturo Cabral came in. They rested their right back, Araujo, and a few of the midfielders as well, Luis and Kuki, the Turkish midfielder. But in the end, it was an okay game for them. It wasn't as comfortable as it should be, but they got over the line in the end. The last match of all competition was, of course, their last league game. They played on Friday, so they had that extra rest ahead of this game. LigaNOS and Liga love to do that for their club teams, put them on a Friday before they have a Champions League game. They get that bit of the extra rest. Dominant cruise control performance from them. No Di Maria in this game. He had to have a bit of a knock, but he is back for this game tomorrow. You see Otamendi in the back line having a great performance alongside their midfield as well, and their attack getting goals as well. So you can see how dangerous they are against teams in their league. But of course, in the Champions League, it will be a bit of a different perspective. So overall, final thoughts on Benfica. They're, of course, a very dangerous team. They are managed by Bruno Lage, who, of course, was doing well for them a few years ago, then decided to move on to Wolves. It was a bit up and down. They went to Botafogo in the Portuguese league as well, but now he's back in Benfica. Doing okay for them. Of course, they won the, LigaNOS Super Cup so far, so not going trophyless. Still in the dogfight in terms of the league title race. They lost, of course, the derby in the league as well, but he's done an okay job really to stay the ship and make Benfica a more threatening side than they have been in recent times. Players to look out for, of course, you have Alvaro in the back, the left back. We have been linked with, so maybe keep your eyes on him, see if he impresses you. Otamendi, absolute stud. Di Maria as well, absolute stud. You have the Turkish winger who was at Galatasaray, who has been cooking up for them. I forget his name on top of my head, some crazy name. The midfield is also very strong. Luis and Kuki, the Turkish midfielder as well, who have been doing very, very well for them. Very, very cheeky, decent side here, and they can definitely cause a massive, massive threat through Barcelona, especially in a home game like this. Let's now take a look at the squad list. The squad list of this match has been released and confirmed, and it is as follows. Cubarsi, Balde, Araujo, Gavi, Ferran, Pedri, Lewandowski, Fati, Raphinha, Peña, Torres, Christensen, Casado, Victor, Yamal, De Jong, Kounde, Eric, Szczesny, Cochin, Fort, and Gerard Martin. Set that off pretty quickly, huh? So no real surprise here. The one big surprise is, of course, your boy, again, for about the 5 billionth time this season, Olmo is injured. The club did confirm after the Getafe game that he has suffered a right sole strain, ruling him out of action for the next few games, with his return pending upon his recovery. Had Miguel to confirm that Dani Olmo will miss the next 2 matches against Benfica and Valencia, with him expected to be targeting a return against Atalanta. Probably won't start the game, but definitely can be in the squad list and on the bench. Olmo's absence, of course, will provide Ansu Fati coming back in the squad list, which, of course, we just say his name there as a number 10, alongside giving Pedri and other players Gavi more game time. So, I mean, I think at this point, Olmo has spent half his time at Barcelona either unregistered or injured at this point. It is absolutely astounding, his injury. He's been injured 3 times this season. And again, it's like Christensen. There's these random little knocks out of nowhere, and it's just frustrating. But you can't say we haven't been warned. We knew this was coming. We, of course, talked about this a lot in the summer. He's a very, 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 very injury prone. In the end, we still splashed 60 million on him. It is what it is. Only out for a couple of games, nothing too serious, but he will be out of action, of course, for the next week. And again, squadless apart from that, no other changes. Time now to get into the press conference reaction of Ferran Torres. As we all know, in the Champions League, a player always comes to a manager, and Ferran Torres was selected. Now, usually when the player is selected, he is starting the game, but we've seen Barcelona go against that curve quite a bit, so no one can really know, but he did do the press conference. Let's get to see what he had to say this afternoon in Portugal for the presser. Came out saying the Champions League is a very important competition. We want to get 3 points or more, secure qualification. Asked about his future, I'm very happy with Barcelona. My future is here, and I'm excited about it. I think any Barca player believes we can win the Champions League. It's a compliment that the Benfica coach thinks so as well. We need to turn around the situation in La Liga. The balance I make since I arrived is with a lot of learning, many moments, beautiful, and others not so much. It continues to be a very nice stage of my career. Of course, talk about his personal life. I want to win many titles at Barcelona. It's true that in recent years in Champions League, we haven't had the results we wanted, and this year, one of the big motivations was that. My favorite position, I feel comfortable as a striker, but in the end, I'll take any minutes I can get. That's crazy to me that this man came in as a winger, produced as a winger at Valencia and City, and now believes that his best position is the striker position. And this might buy him some time in his future at Barcelona as well, because if they see him as a backup striker, then, Pau Victor will get shipped and everyone else will get shipped and he might not end up surviving. Being a super sub, look, it's true that the role is not, like all of us. No one's, goes out and picks and dedicates their career to be a super sub. But I have to take my advantage of my minutes and show that I can be a starter and help doing my best. Good answer there from him. On Ansu Fati, he was asked about how he's doing and stuff like that. He said, look, he had an injury. I've seen him train very well. He's still at a very great level, and I try to help Ansu as much as I can to be positive and to help him respond to the hard times, because football is full of up and downs. Then asked how he feels that he has more away goals than home goals in his Barcelona career. He said, I didn't know about the stat, but I always try to score as many goals as possible, and now to try to inflate the number of goals at home. Then asked about the Benfica stadiums, and the Benfica are doing very well this year, which will fix that at Barcelona last year. He made us follow the Portuguese league much more. Then asked about the Balde chance to conclude, saying that, look, racism and insults are not justified in any player or team. It should not be allowed in football. We have to look at the people who have committed these and, of course, penalize them for their action. And that concluded Ferran's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Benfica tomorrow. Time now for the press conference reaction of Hansi Flick. Again, spoke this afternoon in Portugal. Usually his press conferences are very straightforward, but this one was a bit different. He was a bit rowdy in this one, and I'll discuss why. So let's get to see what the Mister had to say in the presser. Came out saying the match against Benfica, our goal is to win for Benfica. Also, of course, to win the match is a big step for us, and we want to win it and finish the round 16. Right now, we are second place in the Champions League. It would be very good to win tomorrow. For us, it would be very important. Then asked on Cubarsi, and it looked like Lamine Yamal 17 gets all the praise. What about Cubarsi, who's also 17? And he also highlighted the fact he also thanked the journalists for bringing this up. He said that he's always playing very well. He plays amazingly. Pau is only 17. Doesn't matter if he plays on the right or the left of the center back partnership. He always plays well. He's a very important player for us. Irregularity in the La Liga to focus more on winning the UCL. Winning the Champions League is one of the most difficult things to do in the world. It is not easy. We are doing well, but there are still very good teams that are also doing well, and we are in 3 competitions, and that's the way it should be. Talked about Benfica. Benfica are a great team, and Di Maria is one of my favorite players. Then asked on the controversy in La Liga. So he was told that Joan Laporta was leaving a court this morning dealing with some family issues, and Laporta said in the media that it was a scandal that Jules Kounde's penalty was not given against Getafe. And Flick was asked about this. Now, keep in mind, Flick is very, very conservative about referees this season. He's not, criticized them, highlighted any mistakes. All the journalists, I think he was a bit confused by the question, because the journalists kept saying only scandal, and everyone kind of made it clear to him that always talking about the Kounde penalty. And Flick just went off saying that it happens every game. It's incredible. You don't even need VAR to confirm those kind of fouls. The foul on Kounde was a clear penalty, but what can I say? It is what it is. And he got angry. He was there yelling and got very visually upset. So interesting to see that for the first time. But yeah, Flick, welcome to La Liga. It's all corrupt. It is what it is, and you gotta move with the punches. About the goalkeeper position, said, look, we talked about this. The situation changes a lot, and we'll see tomorrow. We saw that Tech was able to do very well in the Super Cup. His personality is incredible. He's a champion. We will see tomorrow. Again, not confirming it. Pretty much means that Szczesny will be starting. We'll continue to fight for La Liga, and we'll see what happens. The Benfica coach saying that we're one of the favorites to win the Champions League. The future will tell if he's right or not. Obviously, it's one of the objectives. It's one of the most successful. It's one of the most difficult competitions to win. Then asked about Szczesny's personality in the dressing room, saying that Szczesny is one of the best signings we have made. Not only does he play well in his position, but also supports his players. He is an incredible leader in the dressing room. Then asked about the Getafe game again, saying that, look, it's my first season in Spain. I have no experience here. I did not know how Getafe was gonna play. Fuck off. Absolutely. You're telling me you watch the league, you analyze Barcelona opponents, you've already fucking played against them this year, and you don't know how they play. Someone just should have told them, hey Flick, we haven't won there in about 5 years. They play absolutely terroristic anti-football. Someone could have just told him that. You tell me I know more about Getafe than Hansi Flick. That is a very, very poor excuse in my books. You're getting paid money. You're getting paid to coach this team. The least you can do is a mini background check on the team and know how they play. It is so obvious. All the media was talking about it. The fans were talking about it. And you're telling me you didn't know. I think that's a very, very poor excuse. Finally, he was asked about returning to the Estádio da Luz Stadium, where, of course, not only did he win the Champions League, but he clapped our asses 8-2 as well. And he was asked about having good memories in the stadium. Everyone started laughing. Oh, 8-2, whoa, whoa, whoa. So, look, I have very good memories here. I don't want to talk about the other one. I'm more talking about the Champions League final. So, good save from him, but in the end, didn't really pass the Barca boy test. And that concluded Flick's press conference ahead of the match against Betis tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start for the manager, of course, Hansi Flick. I'm going to try my best with this lineup. I think it will be very, very easy to predict because I believe he's going to go full strength. With Szczesny in goal, back four of Kounde, Araujo, Cubarsi, and Balde, midfield three of Casado, Pedri, and Gavi, front three of Lewandowski, and Raphinha. Of course, Olmo is not fit, so he won't be playing in the 10. Frankie might play. He's done alright, of course, in the past game and a half, you could say, but he's going to pick this team. It is very, very obvious. Of course, there could be a bomba last second with him bringing in Inaki Peña. I doubt that. Everything else is pretty much set in stone in my books. I don't think he'll make any changes whatsoever. And this is the lineup I believe that Hansi Flick will select for this match. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think Flick will go with. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was the Barcelona coach. And I have gone very, very rogue. I have gone with a rotated side, which Szczesny in goal, a back four of Hector Fort, Araujo, Eric Garcia, and Balde, midfield three of Gavi, Casado, and Pablo Torre, and the front three of Lewandowski, and Ferran Torres. My thought process is, look, we got a big cup game, of course, against Valencia. We played Valencia twice. Atlanta game at home. We only need one win to get top 8. I'm not really too keen on risking injuries and overloads like we of course seen with Dani Olmo. I still think this team is definitely capable enough of going 1v1 with Benfica. Hector Fort coming in, tends to do very well in away big games. Eric Garcia needs some minutes as well. I want to rest Pedri mainly, so I brought in Pablo Torre in the 10. You can put him in there as well. Don't mind that. I think that Pablo Torre, in my opinion, is ahead in the pecking order. Want to rest the front three. They have been playing quite a bit, so I decided to rest Raphinha and play Ferran, since Raphinha has been playing more minutes than Lamine Yamal, and I believe Lewandowski already got rested, of course, against Betis, so he can get played again. So I made a few rotation, not enough to really suffocate the game. I still think this team is definitely capable enough of winning. This doesn't be the lineup that I would select for this match, but of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you select, my lineup or Flick's lineup. Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I think it will be a comfortable game for Barcelona, especially with me believing that Flick will go full strength. I've gone Barcelona to win this game 3-0. I was thinking about if we're going to concede or not, but since Szczesny is in goal and it's not Inaki Peña, I could see us getting a clean sheet in this game. So I think, of course, we'll start the game off very, very on the high. We'll go 1-0, 2-0 up. Maybe second half get another goal as well. We can definitely concede. I would not be surprised whatsoever. I was thinking 3-1, but I thought with Szczesny in goal, I'll back the Inaki Peña agenda and have gone with a clean sheet. I think there's definitely a good chance that we can draw this game. I don't think we'll lose this game. I think that there's a chance we lose this game. Draw can definitely happen if we're not clinical with our chances, which of course has been the whole entire season with Barcelona. But I feel like, again, the boys really like to get up for a Champions League game, so I think we will win this game by 3-0. But of course, in the comments down below, let me know what you think the scoreline will be. So that's a match preview for Benfica versus Barcelona in the Champions League. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course in the comments down below as well, let me know your thoughts on everything we did discuss. The main thing, obviously, of course, is your score prediction on those lineups as well. If you'd rather pick my lineup or Flick's lineup, what do you think Flick would go with? What would you go with if you're the manager? Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me, watch the game with me, follow after the match by my match review. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Big game ahead. Need those 3 points. Take care and Forza Barca.
Yeah.